So we got to talk briefly on the red carpet before I saw the movie. The energy was great. People are excited about the movie. I watched the movie, and I don't want to say I'm a horror aficionado, but I love horror movies, and I study the genre in terms of seeing everything. I don't criticize, but I appreciate when something's different. You guys were able to take something in the horror genre that hasn't been done yet, and yet it seems so familiar. Like you go in and it's like putting on a warm blanket, but the warm blanket starts to get really hot and then starts to strangle you. Like you go in there, and when I'm watching the movie, I'm comfortable. I'm like, oh, this, and then I'm like, I mean, one of the opening scenes, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, Jesus, and then I know this is the pace. So, my two takeaways from the film. One of them was everything felt very complete, and that's rare in a horror movie. When you feel like complete, and then I felt satisfied.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, I like that just comes through that drafting of the script and like finding and planting things and having them pay off. The scripting process is so pivotal to all of that. And then the editing process as well to really find like the pace that we were looking for. Because we wanted it to feel like it was building up to a car wreck and then have a sudden jolt and be disoriented was a feeling that we were trying to capture. And yeah, they're all having fun till they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, they really are having fun till they're not. And it's just, it's rare to see movies that are teen movies that really feel like they're being played by teens. And I felt like I was watching a teen movie that was, they were relatable. Like if I was 17 or 18 seeing this movie, it would be my teen movie. I'm 52, but it's really great to see that from a perspective and go, wow, these guys really captured that feeling of a bunch of teenagers just not giving a fuck. Even the way they act when they go into, people's homes and like just not caring about the home, like throwing cigarettes on the floor, and like just that's what a stupid teen would do, and you captured that.
Yeah, or just based on real life experiences.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, and then also it's so fun to see that it translates internationally because we felt like we were making something so Australian.
Yeah.
But to see like it be like translated so well and like people relating to characters even like in all different countries around the world has been insane.
Yeah, because they're human at the end of the day. Yeah. And it was something, we wanted to make something modern where, like, what would kids be doing with possession if it was real today? And
right, yeah, well, there you go.
That's exactly what would be happening.
The phone's up, everyone, like, bringing this around, I don't want to give anything away, but obviously, the hand is a big, important character in the movie, but yeah, like, being so irresponsible about it. Definitely. And just being so, usually we have the Ouija board, and these kids are like, no, let's keep going, let's go, let's record it, let's put it up on Facebook. And so it really captures what's going on today. In terms of, picking the hand as the object, where did that come, how did that come about, where did that come from?
Yeah, it was in the second draft of the script that we found it. It was initially just called a haunted object.
Right.
And thematically, human touch and connection was so prominent in the first draft of the script. It was such a reoccurring element, it's such a reoccurring motif, hands and connection. It just felt like it'd been there the whole time, and it felt right to be the representation of our horror. And it's representing so many different things that, connection and vices, and it just felt right.
Yeah, because there's something about, when every participant grabs the hand, it's tangible. It's not like, oh, let's summon the spirit. Are you there? Like, this seems like this is how you're going to connect. You're going to plug right in, and you're going to get instant gratification or instant whatever you're going to get. But it's great that you have that instant connection as soon. So it's so tangible for an audience to say, like, that hand's there. And then, of course, after the screening, when that hand's out there and everyone's taking pictures with it, and I'm like, I'm not fucking touching that. But it was made by a prop guy from here, Remy Couture. He's really, I'm not fucking touching it. So that really worked.
Yeah,
it kind of happened on set as well, because we had 6 hands made, the original hands, because we thought we were going to break them and stuff. But there was like a presence about them that people didn't screw them too much. So we ended up only shooting with one of the hands because everyone was afraid to use it when it wasn't being,
And there was such a weight to it, like it really, really like it's a heavy object, it's a heavy prop, and it just felt, real and freaky. And even one of the people that worked on the hands quit the day after they delivered it, like literally. So like I don't know what that was about, but they got freaked out while making it.
Did you feel that was there ever a different ending to this film than the way it? Because obviously, like I said, I felt complete and I felt satisfied, which is so rare. Because the ending it's so satisfying. The film's satisfying as just its own little body of work.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point where the ending was going to be something different?
I mean, we always knew that we were telling a tragedy, so we knew sort of what we were building to roughly. But the actual ending, I think we found 5 drafts in. And it was all
Really?
about like planting those seeds and having it build there. Like, yeah, it's the funnest process is redrafting, refining, and really planting those seeds. Yeah. So
Yeah, there was a bunch of different endings, but when that came about, I was like, oh yes.
It's just so complete.
Yeah.
It's so complete. It just made you like, holy shit, they did it.
It's the best feeling when you're in a cinema and you're at the back, and then, you know, as soon as the credits hit and you hear like the vocally, that's where it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's
I
the
stood
same
up and
time.
I was going, let's get the standing ovation going. And we had a few people doing it, but I think people just get a little awkward when it's too long and it's like the credits rolling. But
Yeah, and when it was happening, I was like, quick, cut the credits. People not standing for too long.
yeah, well, but I really did feel that like it was something that, again, hadn't seen this before, but it felt familiar. Directing that cast, they looked like they were just a joy to work with, and they really all were committed. I mean, they really all dug into their characters. The moms, you know, the banter between the mom when she's talking about having the party, it's so real. And it's like, it's so, like, I'm a parent. I've got, you know, it's 16 and 19-year-old. Like, that's how I would talk to my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
very real. It felt very real.
Like, I hate when parents just feel too like disconnected and stuff. It's like parents like know what those kids are going through, and they're so familiar. They're not.
They know what's
stupid.
going
Yeah,
on.
they
Yeah.
know what's going on. Like, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to really portray that. And I remember like always connecting with like our parents' mom and being like, oh man, she's so cool.
Your parents' mom.
It was my parents' mom, so my friends' moms. Like, there's always that mom that you're like, oh my god. Like, I wish that was my mom that would just really knew, like, could always tap into what their kids were going through. And, that was, and then even, like, how committed Sophie was, who played Mia. There were days I was asking her to come to set not having slept, and she committed to that. And there was even days, like, that. There's a scene where she's hitting herself, and she started hitting herself for real.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were in the cupboard directing, and then this all started happening, and we were jumping like, oh my god, there was this like magic in the air where she just was so committed to that performance and was like, she went there.
That was terrifying.
It was so terrifying, and she was, I mean, our whole cast, I feel so honored to have worked with them.
Oh, they really are a wonderful cast. And when you were talking about, you know, her hitting herself, I had looked away at one point to see a reaction from somebody, and then I got hit with the sound of the hit.
Yeah.
And it was right the first hit, and I was like, oh, so that brings me to the sound design. Like, the sound design of the film is brilliant. I mean, you know, the music, everything, you know, all the cues, but the sound design is just so like rich, and to hear it in a theater. And that's why I was saying to people after, you have to see this in a theater.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it at home, you can watch on a laptop, whatever, but you got to watch this with at least surround sound, because the sound design, you can tell there's love that's put into that.
Michael was very OCD with sound, and like, I was very, very hands-on. And our sound designer, Emma Bordingyoung, and her whole team, man, it was heaven. Like to be that obsessed with sound and to like give these notes and then to go away and then present things. It like felt like Christmas every pass that they would do, and then finding like even like audio cues and motifs that would like tie into different spirits and represent different spirits.
Yeah, there's so much you could do through sound. There was so many lessons that we learned on this film as well. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise that there were two mixes, because we mixed the film. It was supposed to be the final, but the music wasn't working. So we really focused on the sound design, and then we did a second mix, like putting the music in as well. So yeah, we're really able to dive deep with the sound, which is so much fun, especially the surround sound stuff. People have watched the film, like some people have seen it twice, once through screener and once through with an audience, and everyone says,
Audience.
it's way better than the audience. I beg people, please go watch it in cinema, because that communal experience with everyone in cinema is unlike anything.
You got to have it. But again, it's going to be a great rewatch. I know it's going to be a great rewatch. It's an instant physical media buy, like for me.
Oh, hell yeah, that's so cool, man. Thank you.
That's cool.
And lastly, I really believe this is the golden age of horror, modern horror. It's been, you know, there's been this template that's been set by these exciting new directors, and you guys are like falling into that. How does that feel when you get people going, you know, they're the next Peele, they're the next Arster, like whatever it is? It's like, wow, it must make you guys just go, holy shit.
Oh, we just
Makes
love
us
it.
feel undeserving.
And we don't deserve it, and I'm so excited that people are excited to talk to us about it, and so excited that there's all these screenings around the world, and being able to sit in on the audiences and hearing the reactions, man. It's so surreal. Like, the whole thing is a dream, and I can't believe that the film is being received the way it is. Like, we feel so honored. We rolled the dice every step of the way with this movie. So for it to be received the way it is, and even hearing trailers like dubbed in different languages and stuff is so exciting to us. And seeing that the ways different countries are like promoting the film as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a giant hand that's been driven around in Mexico.
I need to get down to Mexico, because what they're doing in Mexico sounds cool. It looks amazing.
It looks so cool.
Continued success. Thanks for taking the time to chat, and I can't wait for people to see this movie. I really can't.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.